Right, hopefully we'll get away with this music. IQ. I actually mate. So before I actually start, thanks for the support, guys. To everyone that messages me or supports me or gives me a thumbs up. Everyone that helps, thanks for the support, everyone. Right, let me have a look. You know me, I'm just looking where I'm just looking where I'm standing, going, so to speak. Not that I actually care. IQ, well, actually, like I said, for you to have a PhD, it's a big notch on your gun, right? But what exactly? Why would you want to go? Why would you want to study for 4 years? Some people are like that. I mean, it's like this leaf. It's just a leaf, isn't it? So you think that's just a leaf off a tree. It could have medicinal properties, it could be full of vitamins, it could be full of minerals, it could have a miracle cure, so we can really go into this, can't we? It's not just a leaf, is it? It's just a leaf and you throw it away, don't you? But it's not, is it? There's so much to that leaf. It does so much things, even when it actually falls and it falls onto the ground. It does so many things. Ecosystem. So now we're going into it big style. We can study, can't we? So whether you've got a PhD or not, does everyone have a PhD? Don't get me wrong. Would I able to get a PhD? Would I be able to go and do a PhD for 4 years? Well, I'd have to be really interested in that subject, and if it were very, very, very hard, your mind, it's just so hard. And there's so many intelligent people out there, it blows your mind. So many clever people, or not so many clever people. Elon Musk. I've been looking online and I've seen these tiny houses. Now, situation, I ain't got a book, I ain't got a penny. I'm a capable of making big money. I think everyone is if you knuckle down. But, as it is, it's very, very hard, no money. Like I said, thanks for the support, guys. When I get back to England, what the hell am I going to do? England's in a bit of a mess. Still won't stop us from earning money. It's not going to be easy, but if you're any good, right, me, not you, if I'm any good, so I'm not chatting about you guys, so if I'm any good, I should be able to make money, okay? I'm monetized, my channel is monetized, it's only filling a form in. When that form's filled in, I get paid off YouTube. I might get paid, I don't know, I might get paid 100 quid a month, or I might get paid 100 quid every 2 months, which is not enough money. It's a tiny, tiny money. But you work up. So we were at Elon Musk. So Elon Musk, wow, what a mind, what a brain. And, same with kids that grow up and how do you use all your mind? Because according to form, we only use a little bit of our mind. And like I said, it just blows my mind. You see a jumbo jet flying in the sky, and I know how it works. I know how it works. It's like an hairdryer. So that's your jet engine, is just like an hairdryer. It pulls cool air in and it blows hot air out. And when you're using an hairdryer, you can feel that thrust, so to speak. But you've got me drift. So he's building tiny houses now. Elon Musk. Sorry, I'll say Elon. It's Elon Musk. I'm not used to saying his name. So that's full, and that is a very, very deep well. Lovely. So he's building all these tiny houses. And they're so advanced, it's like space age houses. Very, very advanced. And I thought, and the 7,000 X amount, let's just call it 10 grand all in. So what would you need? How would you buy one of these houses? And like I said, a PhD, you know, would I be able to do that? Well, I can't even write my own name, I can't damn spell. So would I be able to get a PhD? In life I'd get a PhD, but would I be able to go and study for 4 years? It'd have to, yeah, if it were a topic I loved, I could easily do that. Even if it blew my mind, don't get me wrong, very, 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 very hard work. Lot of more intelligent people than me, for sure. Right, let's look at Elon Musk. You know, what an example. For me, blows my mind just how intelligent. Tiny house, so he's doing these tiny houses now. And they're about $7,000, $8,000, let's call it, $10,000. You can buy add-ons. So advanced, you know, we eating, we water, we all filtration, you know, all solar panels, and there's not there's no nails, there's no screws. Absolutely fantastic, fabulous way to go. Right, you're poor, you're working, and that's what England does. It keeps you poor, doesn't it? England gives you just enough money to survive, right? They tax the arse off you. You know, you should be able to earn at least 20, 30 grand before they tax you, let's be honest. And you're low paid, a lot of people have got jobs they can't damn stand, and it's not a very good situation. But, you know, PhD, you know, wow, like I said, Elon Musk just blows my mind. And, you know, he's built all these tiny houses, like, they can be shipped. They can be shipped all over the world. America's got them first, obviously. China's been doing these houses for a long, long time. Because I looked at these houses about 5 or 10 years back. And there's a lot of things I wish I would have done. And I never did. And when I had the money, I should have done it. But shoulda, coulda, it don't work, does it? We learn, don't we? You know, we make mistakes. So when I get back to England, I've got plans. And a tiny house is definitely one of the plans. I won't say any more than that. I'll just go and do it. And then, you know, because you know what people like, oh, where will you get this from? Where will you do this? So, you know, just go and do it. Then show when you've got it. Or better still, keep that shut. You know, so success is very, very nice. And there's a lot of very clever people around. Now, one of Jovelyn's relatives, a niece and a sister, they excel at school. They're the same, very, very, PhD won't be a problem to them. And they've just got it coming out of their ear holes. You know, they're just so intelligent. You know, so for them, in fact, I'm not sure if her sister has got a PhD, you know, so she can go up to the next level in her job. And why would you do a PhD? You know, unless you're going to be a professor of whatever, drama, art, you know, whether you're going to be in a university or whatever, is, for me, to have a PhD, you know, it's just no big deal. But don't get me wrong, very hard work, I'm very sure on that. But for me, it's not a big deal because I don't want to do what a PhD needs. So you might need a PhD to go up in life, but you'll only go so far with that money. You know, I mean, how many intelligent people? I'm sure Elon Musk ain't got a PhD, I could be totally wrong, but I'm sure he could easily do it in his sleep. Do not get me wrong, a PhD is a big, big thing. It's a big notch on your gun. Would I be able to do it? Probably not. You know, if I wanted to get a job in a college, I just won't be able to do it because I think we're all intelligent, but it's just a different thing. It's a different thing. But it's like I've just said, you know, a lot of you guys are really clever, and a lot of you guys are not so clever. And am I PhD clever? I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. Like I said, it's a big thing for you to go and study, and you're doing your work as well. So, but like I said, that's a leaf to most people. Now, it's not, is it? There's just so much structure. There's just so much about that leaf. And you've got me drift. So, what do I think about people doing a PhD? If that PhD is going to get you up there in life, it's okay. But I can remember a guy in Barnsley, he actually lives in Ireland, and he's been at university and he's done this, he's done that, same, he's got papers, he's just got that, it's just that type of material. And like I said, you guys are very, very intelligent, but could you outsmart me? Could you outsmart me? Now, could you do that? If you've got me drift, I'm not trying to be, you know, arrogant, you know, and that's what I don't like about a lot of people. You know, you can be a stupid person, an intelligent person, you can be arrogant. You don't need to have a PhD to be arrogant. You can be a very, very nice person, down to earth. And if you use your PhD to help people as well as help yourself first, you know, very nice, very humble. So, I'm sure there's more to it, guys, you know, PhD in life. You know, I'm sure that paper will get you so far. But what will actually get you, you know, somebody with a PhD, one of you guys would actually have to, you know, you'd have to make a comment on this channel if you've got a PhD. And, you know, why did you do that? Because it took a long, long time. And I'm sure some of you people can do it in your sleep, but you can't really, can you? It's a PhD. If it's easy, you know, everyone would do it, wouldn't they? So to speak. And for me, I probably won't be able to do a PhD in something I didn't want to do. I'm just not that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm clever. I don't know if I'm smart. So how do we IQ? How do we class it? IQ. Now I can remember I met this guy from London, Kent, right? So I met him while I were on holiday, and I were in Spain on holiday, and I met this guy from Kent down in London, and his mummy and daddy were very, very rich, and he was that type of person, you know. He always bragged off about his money and his mummy and his daddy being school teachers and how important he was. He just got that crazy mentality, and he had an IQ of something like 170, I don't know, 175, 179. That didn't mean a damn thing to me. It just didn't mean one thing. So what? You know, he's got an IQ of 170 odd. So what? What does it mean? Well, you're just an average person. Or are you an average person? You tell me. You know, we're going to class, aren't we? So let's not get mixed up. If you've got a PhD, very, very good luck to you. You've got a big notch. But this guy, he classed people. He classed people with the IQ. And he said to me, what IQ are you? I said, I don't know. How do I know what IQ am I? 10? 20? Who knows? And I'm sure a lot of you people will probably say, probably 0, you know, as a joke. But whatever. I don't know what my IQ is. Impossible. Now, if you got pen and paper, and you started to do my IQ would probably be about 12, right, on pen and paper. So I don't know how you class IQ. Well, I actually do know how a lot of you guys is class IQ. You do it in schooling, wouldn't you? You wouldn't do it in life. You would not do my IQ in real life, would you? So you would not do, what I actually know. What I actually know about this tree. What I actually know about these plants. Which plants can heal you. What plants can do. What sort of bird is that? What kind of snake is it? What kind of ant is it? What kind is that butterfly? etc, etc. How do we class IQ? And society, especially damn governments, you know, I'm going to slip off. If I actually start to chat about the government in England, I will actually go off topic. So, if you've got a PhD, but this guy, this guy, I used to actually take mickey out of this guy. I always used to laugh at him, and he didn't have a good sense of humour. So, he'd be on about mummy and daddy and, swanning around. And I always used to take mickey out of him, so I used to make a joke out of him. Only as a laugh, but he couldn't take a joke. But, he's got this IQ. Does he ever walk in countryside? Does he ever go to gym? Does he ever do things? Does he ever do any gardening? Well, not really. Only thing he used to do is smoke. Oh, it's a dog. Smoke and actually just brag off about his mummy and daddy being school teachers, headmistress, not school teachers, and all that kind of baloney. So, how does your mind work? Like I said, I mean, if you've got a PhD, you're obviously not going to be working in a factory, and you've obviously, as I see it, you've obviously gone to get your PhD so you can move up in the world and get more pay. I could be totally wrong, so, but would I do that? No. I would actually see it as a waste of time. And what do I mean by it? For me, it would be, for you, it's not a waste of time. For me, it's a waste of time. It just won't benefit me. Would I be able to do it? Probably not. When it comes to reading and writing and all that stuff, I'm just not savvy. I'm just not with. But, I can actually remember when I got this phone, and I only bought this phone before I bought this phone to come to the Philippines. And me and a friend of mine, we went to shop in Barnsley. I forgot what name the shop is. And we bought the same phone. I think this phone cost me, I could be talking wrong, about 150 quid. So it's a cheap phone, but it's okay. It's knackered now. So it's not so good. It's ready for scrapyard, so to speak. Yes, we know. Right, so I've see a PhD. I've lost where I was because I'm chatting about this damn phone. So, for me... Oh, sorry, yeah. So this phone, I didn't even know how to work this phone. And I came to the Philippines with this phone, right? And I had this phone a good, 6 weeks, 2 months. And when I got to the Philippines, I actually messaged Joveline, and I couldn't damn work phone. And she'd be sending me a message, and phone would be ringing, and I'd be hitting button, and it'd be turning it off. She'd send me a text message, I couldn't send it. I'm not joking, I could not work this phone. And this phone for me was, God, it was so hard. It was very, very hard. I couldn't even work phone, I'm not joking. I turn it on and then I couldn't even edit a video. I just could not do anything on this phone. But then I learned to do it myself, and I sat down on a chair and I thought, I'm going to get left behind. if I don't go with the world, I'll get left behind. So we have to learn new things, right? This has got a lot to do with a PhD. You know, what we know today in 4 years' time will be, it'll be no good. It will come in handy, don't get me wrong. But in other words, things will change in 4 years' time. We'll have to rethink, and we'll have to relearn things, because it'll be different. And if we stop like here today, like I am, I know how to work a phone, I can edit a video, I can do all that, but it's going to move on. World's moving on. And that's back to Elon Musk. You know, he's got flying cars. Elon Musk's got flying cars. He wants to go and live on Mars. Wow, that guy, just so intelligent. And I'm sure I actually watched Elon on a video, and he said he ain't got no degrees really. You know, he might have got some type of degrees. But like I said, how do we know? How can we class intelligence? And like I said, if you've got a PhD, you know, thumbs up, good luck to you. But guys, if you're doing things like this, if you're going to school, if you're going to college, if you're going to university, make sure you're not wasting your damn time. Don't go and do a course for 4 or 5 years and waste your time, okay? How can you, well, if you've got a PhD, how is that a waste of time? Well, you're studying all the time, so that's going to help you always, because you've trained your mind to study. But like I said, we're moving on all the time. So a PhD, yeah. Like I said, some of you guys, wow, very, very intelligent. But the most dangerous person is a person that is intelligent and he thinks he's more intelligent and he's a bad or a nasty piece of work. But that's where an average person, you know, how nasty people actually scam. You know, you've got a PhD, but you could easily be scammed by someone that's not on the same IQ level as you, because you're probably a nice person, you're working hard, and then some lowlife can actually scam you because you're so intelligent. And this is what I've found out. You're so intelligent, you're above that dumb person. And I'm going to say this, you know, there's so many dumb, nasty little fool people, right? No, I'm actually not. That's answered your question before you ask it. You know, you are thinking on a different level, and that's how you can easily be scammed or stabbed in back, because you think this person that you're not really interested in is not that smart, and they're really not that smart, but you are thinking in a more intelligent way, and that's how people can scam you. Now, if you understand what I'm saying, you're intelligent, aren't you? And I'm not, so to speak. So work it out. IQ. So I used to always make fun of this guy, and he couldn't take this guy. But, you know, make sure, guys, if you're learning something, you need that money, right? You need that money. You need to have a better life. You need to give your family a better life. And that money, you know, makes the world go around. And there's nothing wrong with it. Now I'm going to show you, this is a plant. And it's an healing plant. And it's got a lot of healing benefits. You know, see, I either know about things here in Philippines. I'm no genius. I cannot even feel I'm monetized, and that's my PhD, monetized. Took me 2 years to monetize, maybe a little over, and I worked and I worked and I worked. I went sat on my ass chatting about peanuts and black pepper and God knows what, and a cup of coffee, just chatting, you know. Maybe I should have stopped in house and started. I was doing this miles and miles every day, working. You know, if I had a job, I'd go to that job. When I left job, I'd do a YouTube video walking home. I suppose that's like you guys, your PhD. Now, for some people, it's very, very easy to get monetized, and I know how to do it a lot quicker now. I know how to monetize your channel a lot quicker, because I know a lot about it. I get letters off of YouTube, I get letters every month, you know, well done. I get all these, I get everything, you guys, that are monetized, right? And to be able to monetize your channel, it can take years, and they don't tell you this. And then you get, you know, you get your 1,000 subscribers. You think, wow, I'm monetized. You know, the big one is the 4,000 watch hours. It's fairly easy to, it's not easy, it's very, very hard. And you're not sat in an house or a classroom reading a book, reading knowledge. You're actually out here working hard at it, you know, rain, hail or snow. So, you know, you guys actually are doing, you know, I ain't got a PhD, you've got a PhD. So why did you do that? Did you do that to, you know, go up that ladder and earn more money? Which, like I said, you need that money. You know, you're just not paid enough, are you? You know, like I said, government's keeping you at that level, aren't they? And you're struggling. Then there's the next level, which is quite a lot better. And we can go on and on. Anyway, I'll show you this plant. PhD, IQ, God knows, but you know, I cannot fail my Google AdSense in. Now, one of you guys with a PhD, you'd do it. You'd be able to do it. I can't do it. I'm just not that. When it comes to all that stuff, I'm just not that clever. I'm just not that intelligent. But I know for a fact a lot of you guys are a lot more intelligent than me. And things that you can do. Wow, like I said, you see a plane flying in the sky. Wow, how can it do that? I know how it does it, but how can it do that? It still amazes me now when I go to the airport and I see a plane flying. I think, wow, how can that plane fly? Even though I know how it flies. But you've got me drift. Take care, God bless. Long form video, I'm doing more short form videos. Like I said, not very good here in the Philippines for me now. I need to get back to England. That's another topic. Am I intelligent? Am I average? Am I below average? Who knows? Does it matter? Not really. So long as I can actually make enough money to be happy and do what I want to do, that's all that counts. And we've got an happy, merry life. That's all that counts. So, you know, whatever you're doing in the world, whether you're building a spaceship, whether you're building a tiny house, you know, it blows my mind. Take care, God bless. Make a comment. Please make a comment. Please share the videos. Please help supporting the way of Adela. Take care, God bless, guys.